Good evening, everyone. It's David Schlotthauer here with another update on that winter storm for the northern plains and also for the Rockies. This could bring pretty big impacts for those areas with a big chance of severe weather for the deep south that is still forecasted on Tuesday. Now, if you are new to the channel and you really like these videos, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and sharing this video with your family and friends on social media. So here's a look at that European model for Monday morning, December the 12th, 2022, and we can see where the winter storm actually is at this point in time over the four corners, over the northern Rockies, as well as Idaho and Montana. While it doesn't look all that big of a deal on screen, this is going to really get going as soon as it gets into the high plains, where we are going to see a couple of feet of snowfall and blizzard conditions. This is going to be a very impactful winter storm, to say the least. And with that being said, let's take a look here at Monday afternoon, where this is going to get going. Pressures down to 992 millibars. We could also see how tight those isobars are. Lines of equal pressure. This means the winds are going to be picking up. It's going to be a stormy one for some locations, especially when you get into the Rockies, where the snow is going to be continuing. We're also talking about some light to moderate rainfall and some thunderstorms along to go with that. As the moisture gets interaction with the cold air coming out of the north, we get the baroclinic deepening. We get a lot of dynamics that get in hand. But it's going to only get worse. By Tuesday morning, this is when things are really going to change in a hurry. We are talking about a very dynamical system, folks. This is nothing to joke around about. I will show you the National Weather Service here in just a little bit, because we are talking about a couple of feet of snow. We're talking about strong winds. This is going to lead to blizzard conditions, heavy snowfall, drifting, blowing snow. Stay in, stay home on Tuesday, because this is going to be fairly impactful. It's been in the models for a while, so we have a pretty good idea and understanding that this is going to bring in quite the significant impacts, possibly almost extreme impacts, if that, in portions there of South Dakota, and even for portions of northeastern Colorado and western half there of Nebraska, like near Cheyenne and Wyoming, could see some big impacts. So here's a look at it here. Very heavy snow on the northern side, blizzard, blowing snow. Then on the southern side of this, we're talking about heavy rainfall to the north, because there's going to be too much cold air for severe weather. But if we get further south, like into, say, southernmost portion of Oklahoma, as well as Texas, eastern Texas especially, we are going to be seeing some severe weather. And we are talking about large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. May not be as big of a tornado-producing storm than what we thought before, but still in all, we are talking about severe weather in the ArkLaTx area on Tuesday, which I have now activated on this YouTube channel. A live stream watch has been issued, which means you need to be aware on my YouTube channel as I go live, because I'm giving you ahead of time right now that a live stream is possible now. It's not likely, but it is possible. We will know more information on this by tomorrow afternoon. I'll probably make a community post on this in the morning when I have an actual decision if I'm going live or not, but certainly something to take note of on Tuesday. Also, the threat for some freezing rain and icy conditions, maybe for southern half there of if you're in Minnesota, if you're in northern Iowa, we're talking a lot about that. And this storm is going to still continue to bring problems into early Wednesday morning. Severe weather is rumbling across the deep south. Again, the continuation of tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds will be with you all the way through that time. And then it's not until we get probably into, say, Thursday, when this system will lose its dynamics, but we are still looking at the southern piece of this to stay really energized. Look at all this rain. Dark green colors indicate more moderate to heavier rainfall. And now the European model is simulating the possibility for icy conditions, maybe some freezing rain here in portions of Virginia, West Virginia, and even for Pennsylvania. Yeah, that pink on your screen does highlight freezing rain potential on the computer model that we have here. Okay, and as we go forward in time, that will all turn into snow into the extreme northeast. So like New York, Massachusetts, if you are in Vermont, if you are in New Hampshire, if you're even in Connecticut and Nantucket, even if you are in there, Rhode Island, you might get a little bit of flurries or so, but further north, that's where you're going to be seeing more of the heavier snow as a lot of cold air comes into play as moisture kind of overlaps that cold air that swings into place, and then that moves out of the area by the time we get into into Sunday, we should say, on the 18th of December. So now, how much snowfall are you anticipating to see out of this winter storm? Well, it's not looking pretty at all. Unless you're a snow lover, then it's awesome, right? So here's a look at the snowfall totals all the way through the end of next week. Again, when we kind of combine two sides of this, we have the first phase of this winter storm impacting the northern plains, and then the second phase, that's the northeast. That's why this goes all the way out to day 6, because we have two little areas to watch. So the first area right up here, this is for you if you're watching the video from Wyoming, if you're in North Dakota, even if you are in, say, South Dakota and northwestern half of Nebraska. Boy, you are going to get a ton of snow out of this. Some areas there near Rapid City in South Dakota could get as much as 3 feet of snow. My goodness, this is going to be a snow-producing storm if you are in, say, Wyoming. If you are in southern half, southeastern, I should say, in Montana, you're talking about a couple of feet of snow. And I mean, a couple of feet of snow in the northern plains is nearly extreme. But you put 2 feet of snow in the Sierras, that's not really as much of a big deal, because folks that live in the Sierras and the high country here in California are prone to getting that much snow almost with every winter storm. All right, so seeing this in the high plains is going to be fairly concerning, at more of the northern plains, I should say. But either way you put it, this is going to be a very big impactful system, not just for, again, the northern plains, but also for portions here of Minnesota and Wisconsin, and of course here for the northeast, like New York, Pennsylvania, the New England region here, like Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, as well as Massachusetts. You're going to get quite a bit of snow, possibly a foot or more in some areas. That topped with freezing rain chances. Let's take a look at that on the European model. I know it's too early to show this. I know this is going to change, and it's really delicate process. But right now, if the European model were ordered to stay on this scenario, you would be talking about 1/10 of an inch to maybe 1/4 of an inch of ice accumulation. That would bring down trees and power lines. This is one of those systems that could bring big impacts to the northeast. But again, of course, we're talking a lot about wintry weather and strong winds for the northern tier of the United States. Speaking of wind, we are talking a lot about wind out of this system. We can see those winds really shaping up by the time we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. Those northwesterly winds on the backside of this system, that's going to bring blowing snow, blizzard conditions, whiteout conditions. We could see visibilities as low as 1/4 of a mile or less. In fact, maybe some areas could be down to 100 feet or less. How about that? So make sure you have food, you have water, because I would highly discourage you to go out driving on Tuesday. Even on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday would be weather alert days for that area, because we're going to be seeing that winter storm really move through slowly. It's not in a hurry to get out of there, and those winds are going to stay with you all the way through Thursday. So as long as those winds are there, you're going to be looking at blizzard conditions, and wind gusts, speaking of that, are also going to be elevated between 35 to 45 miles an hour, possibly getting close to 50 miles an hour. So that's going to lead to blizzard conditions on top of the colder than normal temperatures. Man, oh man, it's going to be cold out there. It's going to feel extremely cold, and the apparent temperature will make it feel like that. -5 to -15 degrees, maybe even close to -20, it might feel like out there, because of how much wind and how much cold air is going to be coming in out of the north. This is going to be a very impactful system, and my job here on my YouTube channel is making sure you all are safe and sound in your nice, comfy, warm house, cozy house, I should say, under the covers, watching these videos. And again, live streaming on Tuesday. it will be the perfect time to stay home and watch me live here on YouTube if I go live. Again, it's a live stream watch. Actually, you know what? I'll just go ahead and say live stream warning because I think I'm going live because we do have an enhanced risk of severe weather. Really quickly, before we do get into that, let's take a look here at our National Weather Service alerts very quickly. Winter storm warnings still continue for the Sierra because we're looking at an additional foot of snow up there. So road closures, additional road closures, and delays are expected. And then, of course, up here we have a winter storm watch. And yes, that is a blizzard warning on your screen. And let me update this. I don't think they have updated though. Nope, they have not. Still a blizzard warning and a winter storm watch for that area. So we already know there's high wind warnings, wind advisories. We got winter weather advisories, blizzard warnings, or winter storm warnings, winter storm watches. Man, it's already looking bad based on this map. What is also bad is the Storm Prediction Center. They have already issued a level 3 out of 5 on the Severity Weather Index scale from the Storm Prediction Center over the ArkLaTx region. That includes southern Arkansas, eastern Texas, or pretty much half of Louisiana, and the western portion tip there of Mississippi. So the Miss-La-Tex, ArkLaTex area going to see a lot of severe weather. This includes significant weather impacts such as the potential for tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. That's what the 10% hatched area is. That means we're looking at significant weather concerns likely on Tuesday, according to the Storm Prediction Center. Let's see if there's anything for day 2, and there is a marginal risk up here for thunderstorms. So maybe the threat for tornadoes, wind, and hail will exist. Right now, it doesn't look to be a big threat on Monday like we thought early on in the forecast, but for sure on Tuesday will be the big day. And day 4 still holds at a slight risk there for the deep south, like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. Alright, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, hit the red subscribe button, and also share this video with their family and friends on social media. I love you guys, and I'm going to keep you all updated on this winter storm. Even tomorrow, I should have a video out on this winter storm because this thing is not looking good at all. It's looking very concerning, and yeah, I don't really say that here on the stream or on these videos because we are looking at big snow and a big severe weather event developing with this storm. Thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with you more tomorrow with another update on this winter storm.